Before we start, if stories about overcoming family betrayal and finding strength in impossible situations resonate with you, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens next. Now, let's get into the story. The oncologist's words echo in the sterile examination room. Stage 3 breast cancer. Aggressive. We need to start treatment immediately. I'm 24 years old, sitting on crinkly paper in a hospital gown, and all I can think about is calling my mom. She'll know what to do. She'll hold my hand through this. She'll tell me I'm going to be okay. My phone feels impossibly heavy as I dial her number. It rings 4 times before she answers. Mom? My voice cracks on the single syllable. Sweetheart, hi. I'm actually in the middle of something. Can I call you back? I just left the doctor. I squeeze my eyes shut, trying to hold back tears. It's cancer. They want to start chemo next week. Silence, long enough that I check to see if the call dropped. Mom? Oh, Emma. She sighs, and it's not the sound of sympathy. It's the sound of inconvenience. That's really tough. Have you told your brother yet? No, I called you first. Well, another pause. You should probably tell him. And your father. Get the family loop going. I'm scared, I whisper. I know, honey. But you're young. You're strong. The doctors will take care of you. She's already distancing herself. I can hear it in her voice. Listen, I really do have to run. I have that yoga retreat this weekend, remember? The one in Sedona I've been planning for months. The yoga retreat. I'd forgotten. Or maybe I'd assumed she'd cancel. Can you maybe come home instead? I ask, hating how small my voice sounds. I don't think I can do this alone. Emma, you're not alone. You have doctors. You have insurance. You're going to be fine. Her tone shifts, becoming almost cheerful. This is probably going to sound harsh, but you're strong enough to handle this. You've always been the strong one. That's what makes you special. The words land like stones in my stomach. Strong enough to handle cancer alone at 24. Special because I don't need my mother. Okay, I say numbly. That's my girl. I'll check in when I get back from Sedona. Try not to worry too much. Positive thoughts, right? Love you. Bye. The call ends. I sit in the examination room, still in the paper gown, staring at my phone screen. Positive thoughts. Dr. Martinez knocks before entering again. Ms. Chen, do you have someone who can drive you home? We've given you a lot to process today. My roommate, I lie. She's in the waiting room. The truth is, I take an Uber home to my tiny studio apartment. The truth is, I sit on my bathroom floor that night and sob until my ribs ache. The truth is, my mother chose a yoga retreat over being there for her daughter's cancer diagnosis. But I tell myself she's right. I am strong. I can handle this. Over the next 6 months, I learn exactly what handling it means. The first round of chemo hits me like a truck. I spend 3 days vomiting into a bucket beside my bed, too weak to make it to the bathroom. My hair falls out in clumps in the shower. I watch it swirl down the drain and try to remember my mother's words. You're strong enough. My roommate Zara moves out after 2 months, not because she's cruel, but because she's 23 and terrified of watching me suffer. I don't blame her. I barely recognize myself in the mirror anymore. Mom calls exactly 3 times during my treatment. Each call lasts less than 10 minutes. How are you feeling? She asks in the first call, her voice bright and distant. Like I'm dying, I want to say. Instead, I say, getting through it. That's wonderful. You sound good. Very positive. I knew you'd handle this well. The second call comes during my 4th round of chemo. I'm too nauseous to answer. She leaves a voicemail. "Hi, sweetie, just checking in. I'm sure you're busy being a warrior. Call me when you can. Oh, and I started that pottery class I was telling you about. It's very therapeutic. You should try it sometime." Pottery class. While I'm fighting for my life, she's making clay bowls. The third call happens 2 weeks before my final treatment. She actually sounds concerned this time. "Emma, I've been thinking. Maybe I should come visit soon." Hope flares in my chest for the first time in months. "Really?" "Yes. I feel terrible that I haven't been there. It's just been so hard. You know? Watching you go through this from afar. It's been really tough on me emotionally. On her. It's been tough on her. The hope dies as quickly as it came." "When were you thinking?" "Well, not during treatment, obviously. That would be too hard to see. But maybe once you're done? Once you're back to normal? We could do a girls' weekend or something. Celebrate your recovery. I'm not going to be back to normal for a long time, Mom. I have surgery scheduled, then radiation, then reconstruction. This is going to take years." "Oh." She sounds surprised, like she hasn't bothered to research what cancer treatment actually involves. "Well, we'll figure something out." "You're doing great, honey. I'm so proud of how you're handling this." I hang up without saying goodbye. My brother, David, flies in from Chicago for my surgery. He takes a week off work, sleeps on an air mattress in my tiny apartment, makes me soup I can't eat, and doesn't complain once. "Where's Mom?" he asks on day 3, helping me change the dressings over my incisions. "Busy," I say. He doesn't push. He doesn't have to. We both know what busy means. Means yoga retreats and pottery classes, and anything that allows her to pretend her daughter isn't sick. After David leaves, I'm alone again. Physical therapy 3 times a week. Radiation every day for 6 weeks. The fatigue is unlike anything I've ever experienced. Some days, getting from my bed to the bathroom feels like climbing Everest. I take medical leave from my job at the marketing firm. My savings drain away paying for the portion of treatment my insurance won't cover. I sell my car, move to an even smaller apartment, stop buying anything that isn't absolutely necessary. And through it all, I don't call my mother. Not once. If she wants to know how I'm doing, she can call me. She can show up. She can be a mother. She doesn't. 14 months after my diagnosis, I get the news. Complete remission. The cancer is gone. I should feel euphoric. Instead, I feel hollow. I beat cancer, but I lost something else in the process. The illusion that my mother would be there when I needed her most. I text my brother. Clean scans. I'm cancer-free. He calls immediately, whooping so loud I have to hold the phone away from my ear. "Emma, oh my God, I'm coming to visit. We're celebrating properly." I text my father, who remarried 5 years ago and lives in Florida. He responds with a string of heart emojis and a promise to send a care package. I don't text my mother. 3 days later, she calls. "Emma, I heard the wonderful news. Why didn't you tell me? Who told you?" "Your brother. He's very excited." We all are. I stare at the wall of my apartment. The paint is peeling near the window. I've been meaning to fix it for months but haven't had the energy. "Thanks," I say flatly. "We should celebrate. You and me. Mother-daughter time." I was thinking maybe that spa in Napa, the one with the hot springs? A spa trip. After 14 months of hell, she wants to go to a spa. I'm broke, Mom. Cancer bankrupted me. I can't afford a spa. Oh. Well, I could pay. It would be my treat. To celebrate you beating this. Something inside me snaps. Not loudly, not dramatically. just a quiet, final breaking. You know what would have been a nice treat? I say, my voice eerily calm, having my mother hold my hand during chemo, having someone drive me to appointments when I was too weak to take the bus, having anyone give a damn that I was dying. Emma, don't be dramatic. You weren't dying. You're fine now. I was dying. I stare at the medical bill stacked on my kitchen counter. I lost my hair, my job, my savings, my apartment, and my faith that my own mother loved me. But sure, I'm fine now. I was giving you space. Her voice turns defensive. You said you didn't need me hovering. You said you could handle it. When did I say that? You didn't have to say it. I could tell. You're so independent, Emma. You always have been. Ever since you were little, you never needed me like David did. So you just decided I didn't need you during cancer treatment? I knew you'd be fine, and you are. See? I was right. The logic is so twisted I can't find words to argue with it. She's rewritten the narrative so completely that she actually believes she made the right choice. I have to go, I say. Wait, Emma, about that spa trip. No. What? No spa trip. No girls' weekend. No celebration. I don't want to celebrate with you. That's very hurtful. I'm trying to reach out. I'm trying to be here for you now. Now that it's over and convenient. Now that you don't have to see me sick. Now that you can post pictures on Facebook about your strong daughter who beat cancer. Silence on the line. Then, quietly, I think you're being very unfair. I think you abandoned me when I needed you most, and I don't know if I can forgive that. I hang up before she can respond. For 3 years, I keep that boundary. Mom sends birthday cards, Christmas gifts, occasional texts asking how I'm doing. I respond with one-word answers. Fine. Busy. Thanks. I rebuild my life piece by piece. Get a new job with a company that values my resilience. Move to a better apartment. Start dating again. Go to therapy to process the trauma of facing death alone. My therapist, Dr. Reeves, asks me about my mother during our sessions. Do you want a relationship with her? She asks. I don't know. I trace the pattern on her couch cushion with my finger. Part of me does. Part of me is still that 24-year-old girl who just wanted her mom. What would she need to do to earn your trust back? I think about it for a long time. Acknowledge what she did. Apologize. Actually show up when things get hard again. Have you told her that? No. Why not? Because I don't think she's capable of it. I meet Dr. Reeves's eyes. I think she genuinely believes she did nothing wrong. That she gave me space because I'm strong. That she's the victim here because I'm punishing her. Dr. Reeves nods slowly. So you're protecting yourself? Yes. That's growth, she says, recognizing that some people, even mothers, aren't safe to be vulnerable with. The call comes on a Tuesday evening, 3 years and 4 months after my remission. I'm washing dishes in my apartment, singing along to the radio, when my phone rings. David's number. Hey, I answer, cradling the phone between my ear and shoulder. What's up? His voice is serious. I need to tell you something about Mom, my hand still in the soapy water. What happened? She went to the doctor last week. She's been having some symptoms, weight loss, fatigue, night sweats. My stomach drops. They found something. Lymphoma. Stage 2. They're recommending chemo and radiation. I turn off the water. Dry my hand slowly. Take a breath. How is she? Scared. David pauses. She asked about you. Wants to know if you'll come home. Home. As if I still consider Connecticut home. As if I haven't built an entire life 3,000 miles away specifically to distance myself from her. What did you tell her? that I'd ask. He sighs. I know this is complicated. I know what she did to you. But she's sick, and she's our mother, and how can I refuse? I didn't say that. You didn't have to. That night, I don't sleep. I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, remembering the oncologist's words. Stage 3 breast cancer. My phone call to Mom. I'm scared. Her response. You're strong enough to handle this. The months of suffering alone. The hair loss. The nausea. The exhaustion so profound I couldn't lift my arms to wash my own hair. The fear that lived in my chest like a second heartbeat. And through it all, nothing. No visits. No help. 3 phone calls in 14 months. Now she's sick. Now she's scared. Now she needs me. The universe has a twisted sense of irony. I call David back in the morning. Tell me the truth. How bad is it? Bad enough. Stage 2 isn't as aggressive as yours was. But lymphoma is tricky. She's looking at 6 months of treatment minimum. Maybe longer. And she's alone? What about her friends from book club? The pottery class people? You know, Mom. She has a lot of acquaintances. Not many people she can actually lean on when things get hard. I wonder why that is, I say, unable to keep the bitterness from my voice. I know what you're going to say. That this is my chance to be the bigger person, to show her what real support looks like, to prove I'm better than she is. I wasn't going to say that. No? No. David's voice is firm. I was going to say that whatever you decide, I support you. If you fly home and help her through treatment, that's beautiful. If you stay in Seattle and live your life, that's valid too. She made her choices 3 years ago. You're allowed to make yours now. The permission lands like a weight lifting off my chest. You mean that? I mean it. I'll be the one handling her care regardless. I live close. I have flexibility at work. But I won't judge you if you can't do this. What she did to you was unforgivable. I stare out my apartment window at the Seattle skyline. Rain streaks the glass. The city is gray and beautiful and mine. I need time to think, I tell him. Take all the time you need. I spent 3 days thinking. 3 days remembering. 3 days weighing who I am against who I want to be. On day 4, I book a flight to Connecticut. Not for her. For me, because I need to look her in the eye and tell her exactly how much she hurt me. I need to decide, face to face, whether I can be the person she needs now after she refused to be the person I needed then. And maybe, just maybe, I need to prove that I'm not her. That when someone I'm supposed to love gets sick, I don't abandon them, even if they abandoned me first. The flight feels endless. I watch bad movies, eat stale pretzels, and rehearse what I'll say. By the time we land, I've written and deleted 17 versions of my confrontation speech. David picks me up from the airport. He looks tired. Older than he did 3 years ago. How is she? I ask, as we drive toward Mom's house. Terrified. She starts her first round of chemo tomorrow. He glances at me. She doesn't know you're coming. Good. I want to see her face when I walk in. The house looks the same. Same blue shutters. Same garden that Mom obsesses over every spring. Same welcome mat that says, "Bless this home." I almost laugh at the irony. David unlocks the door. "Mom," he calls. "I brought you some groceries. Just leave them in the kitchen." Her voice floats from the living room. I'm too tired to come help. I follow David through the familiar hallway. Family photos line the walls. There's one of me from college, smiling, healthy, clueless about what's coming. There are no photos of me during cancer. She didn't visit, didn't document, didn't witness. Mom is on the couch, wrapped in a blanket despite the warm June weather. She looks smaller than I remember, frailer. Her hair is still thick and dark, but her face is gaunt. She's already losing weight. She looks up as we enter, sees me, freezes. "Emma," her hand flies to her throat. "What are you doing here? I heard you were sick. I dropped my bag by the door. Thought I'd come check on you." Tears fill her eyes immediately. "Oh, sweetheart, I can't believe you came. I didn't think you would." After everything, she trails off, unable or unwilling to name what everything means. Sit in the armchair across from her. Not close. Not touching. "Can we talk?" Of course. She dabs at her eyes with a tissue. "I have so much to tell you. The diagnosis was such a shock. One day I'm fine. The next day my doctor is showing me these scans and using words like malignant and aggressive and—" "Mom," I interrupt. "I need to say something first." She stops mid-sentence, blinks at me. 3 years ago I had cancer. Stage 3 breast cancer. I was 24 years old and terrified. "Emma, I know. I was there." "No." I lean forward. "You weren't there. That's the point. You weren't there for my diagnosis. You weren't there for my chemo. You weren't there for my surgery or my radiation or any of the 14 months I spent fighting for my life. But you called me 3 times. 3 times in 14 months. Each call lasted less than 10 minutes. You never visited. You never offered to help. You told me I was strong enough to handle it alone. And then you chose yoga retreats and pottery classes over being my mother." The room goes silent. David stands in the doorway, witnessing. Mom's face cycles through emotions too fast to track. Shock, shame, defensiveness. "I was trying to give you space," she finally says. "I didn't need space. I needed my mother. You seem so capable, so strong. I didn't want to hover. I had cancer. I needed someone to hover." She looks away, tears streaming down her face now. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Seeing you like that, it reminded me of my own mortality. I couldn't handle it. And there it is. The truth beneath all the excuses. She abandoned me because my suffering made her uncomfortable. "So you left me alone," I say, quietly, "to protect yourself from discomfort. While I was literally fighting for my life, you were protecting your feelings." "Emma, I'm sorry." The words sound genuine. She reaches toward me. "I'm so sorry. I should have been there. I should have been a better mother. I was selfish and scared and I failed you. The apology I've been waiting 3 years to hear. It should feel satisfying. Instead, it feels empty." "Do you know what it's like," I ask, "to lose your hair in clumps in the shower? To be so sick you can't lift your head? To sell your car to pay medical bills while your mother posts pictures from Sedona?" "No." She's sobbing now. "I don't know. I'm so sorry." "Now you're going to find out." I stand up. "Now you're going to understand exactly what you put me through." Her eyes widen. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I'm not here to help you. I came to tell you that you're strong enough to handle this alone. Those were your words, remember? You're young. You're strong. The doctors will take care of you." "Emma, please." I walk toward the door. Pick up my bag. "Wait." Her voice is desperate now. "You're leaving? You're just going to leave?" I turn back. This is what you did to me. This exact feeling. This abandonment. This realization that the person you thought would always be there just chose not to be. But I'm sick. I need help. And I didn't? The anger I've been holding back for 3 years finally breaks through. I was 24 years old with stage 3 cancer, and you told me to think positive thoughts. So here's a positive thought for you, Mom. You're going to be fine. You're strong. You'll handle it. Emma, David's voice from the doorway. Soft. Sad. I look at him. At my brother, who flew to Seattle and slept on an air mattress and never once complained. At the person who showed me what family actually means. Then I look at Mom, sobbing on the couch, small and scared and alone, just like I was. The satisfaction I thought I'd feel never comes. Instead, I just feel tired. I drop my bag. I'm not her, I say quietly. I'm not you, Mom. I can't leave you here suffering alone, even though you did that to me. Because it almost destroyed me. And I won't become someone who destroys people. She looks up, hope and shame warring on her face. But I'm not doing this for you. I sit back down. I'm doing this for me. Because I need to prove to myself that I'm better than the example you set. That when I say I love someone, I show up. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Does that mean you'll stay? It means I'll help you through treatment. I'll be here for appointments. I'll make sure you're not alone. But Mom, I need you to understand something. This doesn't erase what you did. This doesn't make us okay. This is me choosing to be the person you should have been. She nods through tears. I understand. And when this is over, when you're in remission, we're going to have a real conversation. About what happened. About what kind of relationship we can have going forward. If we can have one at all. Okay, she whispers. Whatever you need. What I need is for you to apologize. Really apologize. Not just say sorry, but understand what you did and why it was wrong. I need you to sit with the discomfort of knowing you failed me. Because if you can't do that, we're done. I'll do it. I'll do the work. I promise. David clears his throat. I'm going to go get those groceries put away. Give you two some space. After he leaves, Mom and I sit in silence. 3 years of hurt and resentment hovering between us. Finally, she speaks. What was it like? The treatment? So I tell her. I tell her about the nausea and the hair loss and the bone-deep exhaustion. About selling my car and moving to a cheaper apartment and eating ramen for weeks because that's all I could afford. About the loneliness of suffering in silence because the one person I needed most made me feel like a burden. She cries through all of it, and maybe those tears are the beginning of understanding. Over the next 6 months, I keep my promise. I fly home for her chemo appointments, hold her hair back when she vomits, sit with her during the long hours in the infusion center. Every hospital visit triggers my own trauma, the smell of antiseptic, the sound of IV pumps. But I show up anyway. During her 4th round of chemo, Mom collapses on the way to the bathroom, too weak to walk. I carry her the way no one carried me, clean her the way no one cleaned me. When she's back in bed, she grabs my hand. I don't deserve you, she says. I don't deserve your help after what I did. No, I agree, you don't. But I'm not helping you because you deserve it. I'm helping you because everyone deserves compassion when they're suffering, even people who didn't give it when you needed it. Why? She whispers. Why are you being so kind to me? Because someday I might need help again. And I want to be someone worth showing up for. I want to know that I met cruelty with kindness, that I broke the cycle instead of perpetuating it. How do I become better? She asks. You start by being honest. You stop making excuses. You sit in the discomfort of knowing you failed, and you do better next time. 4 months into treatment, her scans show improvement. The tumors are shrinking. She's going to make it. We're sitting in the oncology waiting room when she brings it up. I've been thinking about what you said, about breaking the cycle. I want to understand what I put you through. So I tell her about the bathroom floor sobbing, about the fear, about calling her number and hanging up because I knew she wouldn't answer the way I needed. She listens without defending herself. I was jealous, she finally says. What? When you got sick, I was jealous of the attention you got, the way David dropped everything to help. She stares at her hands. I know how twisted that sounds. Why didn't you tell me that? Because it's shameful. But I've been in therapy, and I realize that's what it was. Pure jealousy. You were getting something I never got. Attention, care, support. So you punished me for it. Not consciously. But yes, she wipes her eyes. I'm telling you this not to make excuses, but to help you understand that my abandonment had nothing to do with you, and everything to do with my own brokenness. Her treatment ends on a gray November morning, 6 months after diagnosis, complete remission. The lymphoma is gone. Mom hugs me tight. Thank you for not abandoning me the way I abandoned you. I hug her back. But I don't say you're welcome. What I say instead is, I'm glad you're okay. 2 weeks later, we have the conversation I promised. I need to know this won't happen again, I tell her. If I get sick again, if I need help. It won't. I promise you, Emma. You've shown me what real love looks like. I won't fail you again. Words are easy, Mom. Actions are what matter. Let me prove it. Give me chances. Small ones at first. Over the next year, Mom shows up. When I have a work crisis, she listens. When I go through a breakup, she drives to Seattle. When I mention medical bills, she sends money without being asked. She starts real therapy, joins a support group, does the work. And slowly, I'd let her back in. Not all the way, but to a new place built on honesty instead of obligation. 2 years after her remission, we're having coffee in Seattle. You've built a good life, she says. I had to. I lost everything the first time around. I'm writing you a letter. Everything I should have said 3 years ago. Everything I need you to know about how sorry I am. The letter arrives 2 weeks later. 8 pages. She doesn't make excuses. She owns every moment of her failure. Thanks me for teaching her what real love means. I keep the letter under my bed, evidence of her growth. 3 years after her remission, my cancer comes back. A small mass, caught early, treatable. I sit in the oncologist's office. Déjà vu. Who should we call? The doctor asks. I stare at Mom's contact. This is the test. I call. She answers on the first ring. It's back. My voice breaks. The cancer's back. Silence. 1 heartbeat. 2. Then she says something that makes me cry with relief. I'm getting in my car right now. I'll be there in 4 hours. You're not doing this alone. Not this time. And she means it. She shows up. Every appointment, every treatment, every moment I need her. She becomes the mother she should have been the first time. And slowly, I forgive her. Not because she deserves it, but because people can change. Because the woman who abandoned me 6 years ago is not the woman sitting beside me now. My second cancer journey ends better. The treatment works. Remission again. This time with my mother beside me. We're sitting in my apartment after my final treatment, when Mom says something that surprises me. I'm grateful for my cancer. Not grateful I got sick, but grateful it forced me to face what I'd done to you. She takes my hand. Without my diagnosis, I might have gone my whole life not understanding how badly I failed you. You really have changed, I say, softly. I had a good teacher. You taught me what real strength looks like, what real love looks like. Later that night, I sit on my balcony looking at the Seattle skyline. I think about 24-year-old Emma, alone and terrified. I survived. Not just the cancer, the abandonment, the betrayal. I survived by saving myself. And then, when I was strong enough, I saved her too. Not because she deserved it, but because that's what breaking cycles looks like. Would I do it again? Choose to help the woman who refused to help me? Yes, because the alternative would have been becoming her. My mom abandoned me during my cancer treatment. When she got sick, I didn't abandon her back. Not because I'm a saint, but because I'm strong enough to break cycles instead of perpetuating them. And that strength is what saved us both. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever had to choose between revenge and healing, between holding a grudge and breaking free, hit that like button and subscribe. Share your own story in the comments. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is choose to be better than the pain that shaped us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.